kind of nice when you don't have to go very far out of town to find old cars. We're still in Traverse City. I don't think we've left yet. And we've just noticed that there's a house with a bunch of interesting cars behind the house, and there's a fence with what appears to be more cars behind it. So we're heading there right now, hoping, oh, there it is, hoping somebody's home. And I gotta turn around. And see if they'll give us permission to go looking around this property. Yeah, there's more Mercedes in the back. So this is a Mercedes yard for sure. Although I see a Toyota, I don't know if it's an FJ, but a Toyota four-wheel drive wagon, I guess. We're in Traverse City, just outside of town, and there's a bunch of interesting cars back here. And I see a lot of Mercedes-Benzes. Well, it looks like an interesting place to stop. So I stop the car, I knock on the door of the house, nobody answers. I just kind of snoop around back here, see what's going on, and this Suburban pulls up, and two people get out of the car. I say, oh God, am I going to be like shot? Am I going to be arrested? And Ron Borher walks up to me and says, I know who you are. I watch your videos all the time. I know your car. So we were greeted like friends instead of foe, which is pretty cool. So Ron, thanks for not shooting me.
And the dog didn't get you.
And so you're a Mercedes-Benz technician, is that?
Yes. I started in '71.
Working for the dealership?
Yeah, in Traverse City. And I've lived here all my life, and whatever.
Man.
So 48 years.
So do you do independent repairs here, or what?
Just for friends.
Just for friends, so it's a hobby.
As a hobby.
Wow. Well, show us around with your project cars.
My oldest car is a '74. It's a '74 gas car. I'm a diesel guy, but this one happened to have a gas motor.
Yep, yep.
And all the body work was done 20 years ago.
You've had this for how long?
Oh, I've had it for 15 years.
Uh-huh.
When the dealership closed down, it was not a good financial situation. The owner got himself in financial problems, and some of my settlement was cars, which I just didn't need more cars around here, but they gave me cars, and that's one of them.
And so this was your daily driver?
No.
No.
I can't drive.
Even back then?
I shouldn't even drive on the property, but no, I drove back then, but.
So Ron has macular degeneration, and so he's legally blind. So I guess your wife hauls you around.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And when I'm not being hauled around, I'm on the property here and usually working on cars or working on.
So, but you're still able to repair cars?
By braille.
No kidding.
I've done it so long, I know what size wrench it takes or what it is or what goes where. It's just finding the size of wrench. I can't read the size on the wrench. Yeah. So it's trial and error.
Man.
But.
So what about all these cars in the back?
You want to start this way? I got some more interesting ones over this way, and we can make a circle. Here is a Unimogs.
Oh man, two of them.
Two of them.
Wow.
This is a military surplus.
Is this yours?
No.
No.
I'm trying to get it to run, and I'm using it here.
So what year is this? 88?
88.
So a Unimog
is called a Freightliner because we sold it to the American government. So they put the Freightliner name. Mercedes-Benz owns Freightliner.
Right.
But this is a Unimog. It's built in Austria. The front bucket is an Austrian. It's a Schmidt loader. And then the backhoe is all put on by Case here in the States.
So it came as a chassis.
And goes down the road about 45 miles an hour. And
it's a diesel 4-cylinder?
6-cylinder.
6-cylinder.
6-cylinder, about 6 liters. This one here is 110 horsepower.
6 liters?
Yep.
It's a big motor.
Big motor.
No turbo.
No turbo because there's no room for turbo.
Mm-hmm.
But
so in Europe, these are trucks and they're also tractors, right?
Yeah, tractors. You can get multiple attachments.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull railroad cars with them. You can go down the railroad. They use them in switching yards in Germany. It's just a Swiss Army knife of a tractor truck.
Isn't that something?
And then you used to use it for exploration and overlanding and all that type of stuff.
It's four-wheel drive. I've seen
Yep.
these in Europe as lawn mowers. They go down the highway with big gang mowers, like bush hogs
Yep.
almost. Yeah. Huh. Wow.
This is the military version, and it's got air power, air outlets. It has a hydraulic. We don't have the chainsaw, but it's a hydraulic chainsaw, and also a hydraulic jackhammer that goes in the compartments there. And there's a hydraulic hose reel that runs them. So mainly over here, probably working on bridges, roadways, clearing runways, and who knows what country this could have been in. Then the red one over here is a 60 or 75, and this came from either Pellston Airport or Bel Air Airport.
Mm-hmm.
And they were very popular in that I have a 12-foot snowplow blade,
Uh-huh.
which makes real quick work of snow plowing. You don't see much.
Wow, that's cool. So does the motor come out the bottom, or?
No, the cab tilts. There's a hinge here, and the cab tilts forward,
Wow.
and then you work on
Is
it.
that a six-cylinder diesel as well?
Same engine.
Say.
This is only about 90 horsepower.
So this was originally a yellow color.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That's the case yellow, or it was used on an airport. So front PTO, rear PTO, front hydraulics. There's two hydraulic systems in it. This is the reservoir for the front hydraulic system. These are all the control valves. And that works the front snowplow blade, which the blade itself weighs a ton, weighs 2,000 pounds.
Literally a ton.
Literally a ton.
Man.
This one here too, it advertises 20 speeds forward and about six in reverse. And you can see how closely the engine is packed in there.
So how much does this weigh if they're going to pull a 2,000-pound blade in the front?
With the blade on, we're about 3 ton.
3 tons.
3 ton. These axles are portal axles. It actually turns shorter than a farm tractor.
6-speed in reverse.
Well, basically, but they lock you out of a bunch of gears. The main transmission is 6 speeds, and you have a 4-speed transmission behind that, the auxiliary transmission. Then there's a high and low range, and then there's a forward and reverse, and then it's front and rear locking differentials. So, but I can still get it stuck. My son, the second day we had it, he had the front tires buried in the muck back here. And,
Is this yours?
Yes, this one is mine.
Uh-huh.
And then this is an older version of taking a 580 case backhoe, and it fastens in a little different way, and it doesn't have all the oil tanks. There is actually a case. It's got a case brand on it.
Got it. That's heavy
Case.
duty.
And that's 75. And this is the rear hydraulic system, which is a hydraulic pump run off the transmission, and the front system works off in a belt.
So you use this to drive through the woods here, dragging?
Pull up, yeah, just floating the ground. I also, where woods are dying, we have the boar ash tree disease, so use it for logging and stuff.
Uh-huh.
There's a station wagon,
I see that, yeah.
which I recovered from a junkyard.
Ah.
I traded him a Ford Explorer. This has the five-cylinder turbo diesel.
Uh-huh.
Cast iron block, cast iron head.
Oh, so here's another Toyota. This is what I saw.
Yep, FJ60.
Wow. See, I'm from North Carolina, and stuff like this we don't see. Rust like this.
This was a local vehicle, 190 some thousand miles.
So what's the status of that?
This is will be my 4-wheel drive vehicle back in the woods. It's around here. It's the rust, and the oil pan's rust out, and that's what's right now. I'm putting a different oil pan on it.
So this looks like a shiny cab on this Chevy pickup truck here.
Yes.
Oh, that's a big truck.
This is a 2-ton.
It's got the quarter windows.
Quarter windows deluxe. You can see the deluxe features. All the around the windows.
Yep.
The quarter windows.
That's a 1-ton or something?
2-ton. It's a
2-ton.
6400.
Okay.
2-speed rear end, 235 engine. This was restored. Actually, the guy that owned it, his son restored a 49, same truck. And this was probably a farm truck that was used to haul cherries. And we pick our cherries in July, and then the truck gets put away the rest of the year. And in '94, he made his maiden voyage with it, and he did a lot of brake work and whatnot. And he went to his local sawmill, and on his way home, of course, it's a single circuit brake system, and the brakes gave out in the hills of Leelanau County. And he made it home in first gear and very slowly, but in '94 he parked it, and then I got this from him.
What year is this one?
In 51.
51, okay. So here's a hot rod Mercedes. I know a little bit about these. That's
Oh yeah.
That's the 16 valve Cosworth, right?
Yep. This is my son's car.
Yeah, I went to the Cosworth factory in England when they were making engines for these. So this is one of the rare Mercedes-Benzes. It's got a 16 valve Cosworth engine that was developed by Cosworth in England, and they have manual gearboxes. This is quite the hot rod.
The manual gearbox was a 5-speed, but it was a true 5-speed. It was actually a racing transmission. So it wasn't an overdrive transmission or anything like that. So it was a 5-speed. It's a 2.3 liter. The lower part is all Mercedes. All the upper part is Cosworth. All 4 valves per cylinder. That's how you get the 16 valve.
So this was kind of a competitor to BMW M3, the first generation M3.
Basically back, of course, it was not the horsepower you get nowadays from a 2.3, but it was 186 horsepower.
Man, that's a lot.
But you had pretty much 300, the next size car up, suspension and brakes, and pretty much to race it, you just had to put a roll bar in it.
I know a lot of racers are looking for these now.
Yep.
So what is your son's intention for this?
Restore it someday. He just moved back to Traverse City from southeast Michigan. So he's got to get a house and stuff. But
So it was a pretty sound body?
yep, all the ground effects is all factory. That's all a factory car and stuff.
So here's the telltale right here, 2.3, 16 valve. Neat car. Wow. Have you driven this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day when they were being sold new, I had the opportunity. A guy bought one as they were getting phased out, and we had to go to Hickory, North Carolina.
I live 20 miles from there.
What's the dealership? Henderson?
Hendrick.
Hendrick.
Yeah. Hendrick, yeah.
Yeah, I had to go there and flew down 3 days before Christmas and drove it home, and a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet.
A lot of fun. Third gear is really nice. It's red lines at 6.5. You come off on, or come on an on-ramp onto the in third gear and just blow past everybody. Then you shift twice more, that type of stuff.
Very nice.
Very
Wow.
nice cars and stuff. But, and behind you is a 4MATIC. That's a 4-wheel drive car. Unique about this one, it's been all repainted in a non-Mercedes color, and everybody likes this color and the way it was painted.
Well, I think we've seen enough here.
Seen
This
enough.
is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Actually, I have people coming from Germany. Their friends, when their relatives or friends come from Germany, they stop by and want to see my car collection, because they don't see the 74s or any of those, or even the 70s, the late 70s cars. It's just all the newer cars over there. So, and then the Unimogs, all the Unimog stories and Unimog people stop by. So,
Ron, thank you.
hey, it's been
What a pleasure to be recognized as I pull in your driveway and not shot. Thank you.
Yeah, my son is a gun collector and he's not home, so.
Oh, gee, thank goodness. Well, that was a real pleasant stop. We met a guy that had watched Barn Find Hunter, so he knew where we were, and so he let us go around his yard. It's really neat when a guy like that has a 41-year history of working on Mercedes-Benz. He worked at a dealership. He does independent work. Now he's legally blind, but he still can feel how to fix a car, which is just amazing. And he had so much history to tell us about working for Mercedes-Benz, going to Stuttgart on special award trips. You don't meet many people like that. It was a good morning.